Okay, so everyone is downplaying the outcome of tariffs, guys. In this short podcast, I'm just going to give you some facts about the fact that China is ready for the tariffs, but the United States is not. So, in some prior podcasts, it may be helpful if you review the historic analogs dating to 1980 through 1989, the period of Reagan. When Reagan was the president, Trump's policies are basically Reagan policies. If you understand that, you're going to know exactly how to profit from this market that is currently trading at levels beyond ridiculous stupidity that exists in the world. So, with that said, guys, trading is pretty simple. And when you can boil your trading just to a few simple moves, you should go big. This is not the time to go fucking small. This is the time to go big. And you go big only when you understand the historic analogs. Only when you understand the 30 market move sequence. There are moments in the market that pay out huge. And this is one of them. So I'm just going to show you a couple of things in this podcast that are quite simple, and if you just focus on that and you are able to cut out all the noise. Now that's the key thing, is most of the traders, they're not able to cut out all the noise. They're not able to catch the bullshit. They're not able to focus on the shit that really matters. So sure, the majority of the world is highly bullish in the United States, unless you're actually going to go glance at the amount of bonds that China is holding, and you compare them to the level of bonds that China was holding in the last 8 years, in the last 4 years, in the last couple of years. The shocking truth is this, and before I'm going to reveal the answer, guys, it's important to understand that if you study the 1980s Reagan administration, it is notorious for running the biggest trade deficits simultaneously as the government is running the budget deficit. So it's also referred to in history as the twin deficits. Basically got budget deficit and trade deficits, and they're both going to the fucking moon. So if you focus on that and you understand, okay, this is the historic precedent, then what is going to go up and what is going to go down becomes quite simple if you focus on history. So what is going to go down and what is going to go up and by how much is all that you need to know in order to be able to be highly profitable, while the rest of the world is going to, well, shit. Simply, they're going to get the shit wrong. So, Trump's tariffs. Sounds like, whoa, he's going to use that as a negotiating tools to get the rest of the world to buy American-made stuff that the rest of the world does not want to buy voluntarily. What is that? What is this, like an ultimatum? That's like, man, well, you don't buy our shit, we're going to tariff the fuck out of you. And okay, fine. I mean, you call that the free trade? You call that the free economy? The invisible hand? No, there's no fucking invisible hand here. The hand here is pretty clear. It's the United States hand telling the rest of the world what the fuck they gotta do. Well, no shocker if it was advantageous to the rest of the world to be buying United States shit. They would have already done it, but they don't want to fucking do it. So now you're going to go and you're going to twist their arm and say, well, man, listen, man, we're going to tariff the fuck out of you if you're not going to do this. So, look, China's been prepared for us. And all you have to do is look at the chart of the amount of bonds that the country of China holds. The amount of U.S. government bonds that China is holding has been continuously diminishing, and recently has been dropping off the cliff. Well, people say that Trump administration and Trump himself are so ready, so much better ready to take on these tariff situation now than they were in the first Trump presidency. I would say exactly the opposite is true, because as much as you love Trump, which, guys, I'm a big Trump supporter, but his foreign trade policies and some of the policies he's proposing, they're total shit. It doesn't mean that Trump does not have a good intention for the United States. It doesn't mean that he doesn't have a good intention for the people in the United States. It just simply means that he keeps, making the same mistakes that he has done during his first presidency. And unfortunately, that's not going to lead the markets to all-time highs as everybody's pricing in right now. And I can give you historical after historical after historical fucking precedents. And this time, it's just going to be magnified with, the biggest magnifying glass in the world. Because at this current moment, the United States cannot afford to tariff the shit out of the world. See, that would be true years ago, when the United States was making a lot of shit that was good that the rest of the world wanted. Now, that's not the case. It's like United States needs to buy a lot of shit from the rest of the world. And, for a lot of time, the United States has been getting away with it basically by printing the money and say, well, we'll print. We got the reserve currency. We'll print it. We'll pay for the shit. We just don't want to make it ourselves because, honestly, hey, it's a lot easier to print the shit than make the shit. So, we're at that moment in history where if Trump is really going to go out there and tariff the fuck out of the world, it's going to be the biggest blow to the United States economy. And with that, there comes the consequences for the markets. There comes the consequences for a lot of things that are not being priced in right now in the market. Wall Street is 100% bullish. Individual investors, business owners, 100% bullish. What could go wrong? Well, I'm telling you exactly what could go wrong is the fact that nobody's paying attention to the only chart they should be paying attention to is the United States is buying a shitload of things from China for many years. And the easiest barometer of whether the other country from where you're buying a lot of shit from is remotely interested in doing a lot more business with you, the easiest barometer to that is looking at the chart of how much that country reinvesting in your country. So to make shit clear, how much China is reinvesting in the U.S. economy. So normally, if you're doing a lot of trade, a lot of business with another country, the money that United States is paying to China goes right back into the United States economy, right? In the form of what? Real estate investments. In the form of what? Bond investments are like the number one thing, okay? Because that allows you to collect a little bit of interest, a little bit, but sure, it's safe and it's good, and you can cash out of it anywhere from 3 months to the next 2 years, and you can keep doing that because you have an intention to do a lot of business with the country, meaning like China was doing that because it had an intention to do a lot of business with the United States. And if you look at the chart of what China is doing with the money that it is receiving from the United States. Like, United States is buying a whole lot of shit from China because the United States don't make the shit themselves anymore. And China's been preparing for this moment. If you understand this very chart, China's been ready for it. So just to give you a comparison, a few years ago, China was holding $1 trillion in United States government bonds. Now, we have voiced our opinion the United States government bonds are total shit. And that is partially, we have voiced that Apple is dropping like a fucking rock. It has nothing to do with, partially it may have to do a little bit with Apple losing its share in China of its business. But majority of it, okay, is the result of Apple holding a lot of these dog shit United States government bonds. And anybody who's you're going to see on Wall Street is going to come out and tell you that this is the safest fucking investment. They're fucking wrong. That is why banks are going to go belly up. That is why a safe, secure company like fucking Apple can absolutely find itself in dire circumstances. That is why, the biggest holder, private holder of U.S. government bonds is Berkshire Hathaway. Okay, Warren Buffett always believed that United States government bonds is the sure fucking thing. But guess what? We're in a whole new area here. We're in a whole new world. And guys, as much as I love Warren Buffett, look, this trade is not going to be known as his best fucking trade or investment. I'm telling you that there is a reason people are unloading Berkshire Hathaway shares. There is a reason why they're unloading Apple shares. And tomorrow, okay, don't be shocked if Meta fucking collapses by 30-40%. If you got big Mag 7, or should we call them Mega 7, because they're associated to do so well with Trump administration. If we study this shit, that's really not the case. Temporarily, yes, technology stocks, they seem to be doing well in Trump's first presidency, but it's like it's a hit or miss. There's no particular evidence that all technology stocks are going to do equally well just because of the deregulation policies. And those people that tell you bank stocks is the way to go, they're full of shit, because they're not even looking at historical precedences in not so distant past when Trump was under his first presidential term. Banking stocks were total dog shit. And I would say they're one of the greatest, easiest shorts going into 2025. So while the rest of the world is thinking technology stocks are going to keep going higher, that this AI bullshit is going to keep going higher, all of these things, like, if you just think about it, I mean, this is how easy and simple this is, okay? If you really believe in AI, what does this mean? Well, you're going to be looking at the most explosive unemployment numbers the history has ever seen. Because if AI succeeds, okay, a lot of people are going to be out of a fucking job. So when you're going to be looking at employment numbers, you're like, oh my God, another 5 million people lost their fucking job this week. What do you think is going to happen to the stock market? So if the bet on AI is real, stock market will fucking collapse. Okay? And what I'm saying is the AI bet is not real and stock market is going to collapse. Basically, you got a situation right now in the market where it doesn't matter whether people are right or wrong on the AI bet. The market is going to collapse if we go study all the historic precedences that take us to this very moment today on January 19th before Trump is going to be sworn in tomorrow. The top in the market has been set, and it's been set by nobody but the president himself. Okay, the policies dating back to the 1980s, from 1989 Reagan administration, they simply don't fucking work. Everything that Wall Street is brainwashing you to do, oh, well, buy this. Well, this is going to do it. Man, they're full of shit. Guess what they're doing now? They're shorting the very stocks that they're pitching you right fucking now. So nobody makes money in the stock market by being a fucking groupie. I'll tell you that much. Some of my best trades to the magnitude of 20x, 50x, 100x, 400x, 600x, they evolved as a result of understanding the charts, understanding the 13 market move sequence, understanding a point in the market where people completely lose their fucking minds, that like they're losing their fucking minds right now. Like people were losing their fucking minds during COVID when market just continued crashing. And we said this is the time to buy the fuck out of S&P 500. This is a time to buy some of the craziest stocks that were going down every day, and yet we're getting a bunch of ugly comments at 13 Market Moves saying, who the fuck, man, this, you want to buy calls here at S&P 2300. Who does that kind of crazy shit? Clearly, this is a dangerous strategy because the market just keeps crashing. Well, I mean, they're the same fucking people that are buying Bitcoin calls, that are buying Trump meme coin today when it hit $90, with people buying bullshit just because they are a fucking groupie. I'm telling you, you'll never make money, any substantial money in the markets just because you're a fucking groupie. You got to have your own brain. You trade the shit by observing things that appear to the majority of the people to be true, but in reality, they are not. So the Meg 7, or the biggest, largest companies that are about to fold, like you've never seen a fold in the stock market history. This shit is about to roll, and if you sneeze, you're going to lose on the greatest short selling entry of your lifetime. It is not a question whether Meta is going to go down. It's going to fucking go down. The question is, are you going to fucking short it when you're going to realize that, oh my God, well, for sure, it's going to fucking keep going lower when it's already down 200 points, okay? Or are you going to have a vision that nobody has right now to be ahead of these trades? I mean, that's why you come to 13 Market Moves, because you want to be ahead of the bigger move, okay? You want to be ahead of the crowd. I mean, by the time everyone reaches a unanimous conclusion that something's going to go higher or lower, that is the time to abandon that trade. Yet, you're facing these conditions today, and nobody is yet abandoning those trades. What better setup could you fucking wish for as a trader? So, we get to live from the most magnificent market conditions. Yes, the market is going to collapse. Yes, the bond market is going to fucking collapse. And this is partially why you're already seeing signs in the market like Apple and Berkshire. And you're seeing other big names, okay, that are going lower while indexes are persistently maintaining a level or even managing to go higher in the last few trading sessions by as much as 80 to 100 points to the upside. Well, all of these gains are happening on fumes, meaning there's no buying volume that is of any substance that is going currently into the market at these levels. So the only resolution of the market is to the downside. Whether you understand it or not is another fucking question. Whether you understand that you can profit from the drop of the biggest corporations in the world that have been fucking you for years, that have been brainwashing you for years, is another question. But our students here at 13 Market Moves got the positions that are going to help them capture that momentum while the rest of the world is blind and oblivious to the real market direction that is signified today on January 19th, 2025. Yes, most of the people expect bullish market conditions under Trump administration, just like most of the people expected the banks to go up during Trump administration in his first term, but that is not nowhere near what actually has transpired. So, my message here is you study the history. My message here is everyone wants to bet on Trump coin. Everyone wants to bet on Bitcoin high. Everyone wants to bet on Meta. All, like, look, you realize, like, I mean, every goddamn senator and congressman in America bought shares of Meta going into the Trump inauguration and the TikTok ban. What the fuck do you think is going to happen tomorrow on the 20th? What the fuck do you think is going to happen going 5 days, 10 days from now to Meta shares? I would say there is a 99.999% probability that Meta shares are going to collapse the fuck out. Now, we took a position in Meta shares. You know that if you were trading with a 13 Market Moves coach, if you were trading with anyone here at 30 Market Moves, if you were personally trading with me, then you know you got a fat ass position on meta puts, as the rest of the world's been buying them. Well, why would you want to do something crazy like that, Leo? Well, hold on. If the rest of the world has already bought it, the question is, who the fuck is going to buy it now? All the Senate, all the motherfucking, House Representatives, they already bought. The question is, who the fuck is going to buy it tomorrow? Okay? Not to say that temporarily things cannot go up on fumes like you've seen in the last couple of days, but that is not a representation of where the big move is going to be taking place. So, Meta is your number one short going into next week, going into 2025. Okay? And this is not a new message. This is the message that I pointed out before 2024 was open. I said some of the most greatest performing names are gonna be dog shit. So Meta is one of them. Apple is another one. Microsoft is going to hell. You're gonna have the Mag 7 that are so associated with the MAGA movement, with the Trump presidency. They're supposed to be doing so fucking well, and you're so fucking sold on the idea of it, and you're about to see exactly the opposite taking place. Just like you're going to see some of the banks, the signs are already there. Oh, sure, they're gonna sell you on the fucking idea to buy Goldman Sachs and BlackRock and all that shit. But guys, these are the banks that own the most amount of U.S. government bonds. And this problem is not something that anyone is talking about now, but it is a big problem that everyone will be talking by the time 2025 is going to be over. So, this message is loud and clear. Don't be on the wrong side of the fucking market. Don't be brainwashed, okay, by the same people that have been brainwashing you for years. You got a chance to make money on Meta drop. Why would you not fucking do it? Okay? They've been taking advantage of your freedoms for fucking years. Goddamn Zuckerberg, motherfucker, actually admits it. And like, nobody's even paying motherfucking attention. He says, well, yeah, the Biden administration, they fucking called and yelled at us, and, guess what? I'm a fucking pussy, so I just told them, okay, what do you guys want us to do? We'll fucking do it. We're not about, the Constitution. We're not about the freedom of speech. We'll do whatever the fuck you guys tell us to do. Fucking weak dick pussy motherfucker Zuckerberg. And he actually now admits it. And like, man, why would you ever be on Facebook? Man, if you're on Facebook, you gotta fucking unsubscribe, you motherfuckers. If you have a Facebook account now, okay, you going on motherfucking Facebook, or you're like on Instagram, man, you all don't motherfucking belong here, okay? You don't fucking understand how badly you've been fucked by United States government, okay? And if you let them, if you don't go and get off the motherfucking Facebook now, you don't get off Instagram, man, they're gonna keep fucking you for years ahead. So it's in your control. But yeah, most of the people, y'all gonna listen to this, you're gonna take it lightly. Like some of you that understand the seriousness of the current situation, you're gonna make fucking millions, okay? Which is nothing to the billions that Zuckerberg make, but goddamn it, okay? At least you're gonna stand up for something. And what I'm saying, shorting some of these biggest corporations that have been taking advantage of people in America, people around the world that have been feeding you lies and bullshit. How could you not want to profit from that? So if you understand what the fuck I'm saying right now, you come to 30 Market Moves, you get in touch with the coach, and you gotta do it fast, because these market moves are going to be profound. They're going to be something to the magnitude that no one expects. And Wall Street have brainwashed you to believe that this Trump presidency is going to be absolutely beautiful and magnificent. Taxes are going to be cut. Well, guess what? They're not. Okay. world peace and, all the wars are going to stop around the world. That shit ain't going to happen. Just go study the Reagan administration, okay? None of this shit that's been promised to you as an American, none of this shit is going to fucking come together. Now, that is a fucking fact. Now, I'm not saying that Trump does not mean well for good things to happen. But what I'm saying is, it's not just up to him. It's not just, you like... People don't have a fucking clue who's actually running the fucking country. And that is the problem, okay? That is the fucking problem. So, this is your chance to stand up for yourself as an individual, as a person, okay? Okay, fuck Zuckerberg. Fuck all these, goddamn politicians who've been trying to take advantage of you. Okay, this is your chance to at least get a piece, okay? At least, okay? Stand up, dust yourself off, and hit this motherfuckers right in their jaw, okay? That is the moment, okay, of how America gets itself back on track. Stop taking shit from people. Stand up for something you fucking believe in. All right, you got the greatest fucking trade that everyone's so puzzled about that's going to go exactly in the opposite direction. Do you not think that was a fucking setup? Whew. It's time for a lot of people to come to the realization that you live in an imaginary fucking world and you're being taken advantage of every motherfucking day. So much more reason to study the historic precedents, so much more reason to study the historic analogs in the time frame, so much more reason to go back and study the entire history and put it together in relation to the charts of things like oil and gold and other things, and you're going to find out that, look, markets are not difficult to trade at times. They're complex because goddamn politicians and all the shit they're trying to convince the world about this beautiful democracy in the United States that don't fucking exist. Once you open up your mind to that, you're going to start catching some absolutely fucking wild trades. But until then, hey, you're just going to be a fucking groupie. So if you're tired of being a groupie, you come to Third Year Market Moves. Be ready. Be ready for some big fucking changes. But if you're not, well, shit, there's not much anybody can fucking do for you. So the decision is yours. I mean, it is simple if you understand even 10% of what I'm trying to say here. But the decision is simple. Exactly what everyone else is expecting to happen is not going to happen. And exactly the opposite is about to take place. So, with that said, guys, I hope you position yourself for victory here. I hope you position yourself at moments when a lot of people are going to get caught on the wrong side of the market. I hope you position yourself to profit from this absolute fucking stupidity that is happening now. So, with that said, guys, go to 13mmtv.com, go to 13marketmoves.com, sign up, and let's fucking roll.